And how to curb the plastic crisis. Talks on a global treaty are scheduled this week as plastic production is on target to triple by 2060. Diplomats are meeting in Switzerland to hammer out a global treaty to curb plastic pollution. Delegates fearing that oil states such as Saudi Arabia and Russia plan to challenge some provisions. It all comes as a report by the scientific review The Lancet warns the world is already in a plastic crisis, costing 1.5 trillion a year in health and environmental damage. The study states that plastic production is on track to triple by 2060, with less than 10% recycled. Microplastics have also been found not only in our oceans, but in breast milk and in brain tissue. Joining me now is Philip J. Landrigan, Director of Global Public Health Program at Boston College and one of the authors of The Lancet Countdown. Good to have you with us. I outlined a little bit there about the plastic crisis that we're in, but can you paint a full picture for us? How bad is it?
Yeah, I think the thing that I would like to emphasize about the plastics crisis is that we now understand much more clearly than we did even 3 or 4 years ago that the plastics crisis is a health crisis, that plastic harms human health at every stage of the plastic life cycle, beginning with the fracking and the oil drilling and the coal mining that produce the raw carbon that goes into plastics. And plastic production is full of carcinogenic and toxic chemicals. And then when all of us use plastic, we are exposed to the toxic chemicals in plastic, the phthalates, the bisphenols, the brominated compounds that can cause myriad damages to human health. And so the message that our report in The Lancet today is conveying is that the treaty negotiators who will start their work tomorrow in Geneva have to focus on human health. They have to put provisions into the treaty that will protect human health.
Philip, presumably it's the vulnerable populations, children, old people, those that are unwell, that suffer the most severe impacts from plastic.
All of those, and also the poor and the minoritized who disproportionately live near fracking wells and plastic production facilities, and the poor countries of the world that are the recipients of so much of the plastic waste.
I see an estimated 8 billion metric tons of plastic waste pollutes our planet at the moment, Philip. What's the single biggest thing that could be done to help try and fix this problem?
The single biggest thing that can be done is to impose a cap, some kind of a restriction on plastic production. Plastic production, as you said in your intro, is increasing dramatically. It's on track to triple by 2060. Less than 10% of plastic is recycled. We cannot recycle our way out of the plastics crisis, as the plastic industry has been claiming for many years. It just doesn't work because there are so many different types of plastic and there is so much toxic chemical material in plastic. So the only rational way, the only sensible way to control the plastic crisis is to control production. I'm not saying end plastic production, far from it. There are many plastics that we need. As a medical doctor, I need plastic to practice medicine, but I certainly don't need plastic sheets on examining tables. I don't need plastic gowns on the nurses who work with me. We can use our intelligence to distinguish the essential plastics from the unnecessary plastics, and we can restrict plastic production by focusing on curbing output of those unnecessary plastics.
Philip Landrigan, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be keeping across those talks in Switzerland and those efforts to hammer out a treaty throughout the week here on BBC News. Do stay with us.